host of webcomics reviews and interviews. Today's tip for the day: be best, not first. Look, one of the problems with diversity is that it can get a little bit weird when we actually try to fill in spots that we think that are underrepresented. I mean, straight up, don't get me wrong. I'm all for diversity. I think that the more voices that we as a society have, the better. You know, it just enriches us as a culture to have access to all these different voices and all these different perspectives and all these different ways of looking at things. As a writer, especially, I think it's totally awesome. Unfortunately, the problem is you have a lot of writers that are more interested in trying to find these holes that are underrepresented and fill them. And while it sounds pretty awesome, there are some major issues that you need to keep in mind before you do that. That is, you shouldn't be tackling a character just because you think that character is underrepresented. You need to tackle that character because you think it's going to be fun, you think because it's going to be interesting, because it's going to be a challenge to you. You need to tackle that character because it's something you actually want to do, not because you think it's going to fill some sort of goal. The problem is that once you actually start going along the concept that you have to fill this void, and you basically create this character specifically to fill the void, you create a lot of interesting problems for yourself. And none of these are good. I mean, they should just be those kind of problems that you absolutely should be avoiding like the plague. And it's just, I can't stress that enough. See, when you write a story, you need to have the story come first. If anything else comes first, the story's going to suffer, and so will everything else in the book. It's just you need something to basically tie everything together, and that's what the story does. On top of that, it actually moves things forward and actually allows people to explore your world a little bit more. On the other hand, if you're worried about filling the void with a particular type of person, you're going to create a situation where that person comes before the story, and that should never be the case. You're going to be doing all these little cute little details that are about the character, how the character interacts, the bad stuff that happens to the character specifically because of that perspective, so on and so forth, and it never ends well. You get so worried about that character that you forget about the story. You know, the big thing that should be coming before everything else in the book. So worry about more about writing the best story you possibly can with that particular character. If that character happens to be really, really strange, really different, and something you're trying to actually do, great. But don't do something just because you feel there has to be some sort of political need to do so. Straight up, worry about being best. Don't worry about being the first. If you like this tip and you want to hear a little bit more, check me out at Webcomics Reviews and Interviews, available at any podcast distributor near you. Thank you and have a great day.